across the Atlantic now for round 8 of the 2013 FF1M season, the Canadian Grand Prix and Montreal. Last time we saw an Exolite win.
Yeah.
For the first time since the 1995 season, when it was known as the Masters era.
Good race, good drive from Alonso.
A very good drive from Alonso indeed, and helped partly by the mechanical failure of the Gajera early on, but well-deserved win.
Not having a good season reliability-wise.
No, they've only had one win this season, which is very odd considering they've had 6 pole positions, 5 for Raikkonen, 1 for Perez, and the other pole position being Romain Grosjean last time out at Monaco. Grosjean, meanwhile, he finished, where did he finish last time? At second, not far behind Alonso, and your driver Vettel third. And it was actually a good race for Exolite because Button finished 4th. I had a point. Yay.
Well done.
That's something, I suppose. Last time we saw Fernando Alonso win when he was driving for Willows, so could he make it 2 in a row at Canada and 2 in a row Monaco and Canada this season? Dry conditions expected, 1 or 2 stops expected as well. No idea what happened in practice. Probably a tornado top in practice, but who knows?
Who cares? Practice.
It's only practice. So just use that opportunity to develop cars, whether it be reliability, power, aerodynamics, or tyre or setup. Who knows?
Oh, what did I test? I can't remember.
I think I was more power focused, which really did not work, as you'll find out in a bit.
Oh, right.
Because it's a Gajera front row.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
Who's 7th? It's another Ferrari. And the symmetry is broken by Nico Hulkenberg in the Mitchell Renault. Your other driver is the one who broke that symmetry down in 15th. But no FJRs in the top 10 at all. Wow. So the Honda's not doing at all well. Kimi Raikkonen on pole position for the 6th time this season. Perez joining him on the front row for not quite the 6th time this season, but close enough. And all Tornado row 3. Ferrari's in the top 7, that's frightening. Not as frightening as the fact that BMW was still last by a long way.
Yeah.
Pedersen's on the back row.
Yeah,
I'm really having a dreadful season. Hamilton 12th and Gutierrez 18th.
I'm surprised by how far away the BMWs are, actually, to be honest.
Half a second, according to that.
I suppose it's hard to develop them when there's only... I should apologise as why I'm incredibly bunged up.
Aren't we all in this wet season? So, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on, the inevitable pause before they go out, and we're underway in Canada. That looked like a good enough start from Raikkonen. Perez has also got a good start. What's going to happen into this very tricky first couple of corners? Perez goes round the outside. But now Raikkonen on the outside, but it looks like Perez has taken the lead. And similar thing happening between the 2 Tornadoes, but Grosjean has retaken that 3rd position from Verne as they round the turns 3 and 4 chicane. It's Perez who leads. Quite closely packed at the moment. I remember where Perez finished in that Monaco race, because I don't think he finished 7th. No, that's championship. He finished 6th. That's better. So at least he had a better race than he had at Nürburgring.
Yeah, it was nowhere there.
He had pole position then as well.
Right,
They're still quite condensed.
Let's see what's going to happen down this straight. I don't imagine much because they're all Ferrari powered, but...
Slipstream could help. And Grosjean looks like he's on the move because he's right up the back of Raikkonen. Raikkonen's still got a sniff of a slipstream, and it's helped because he's sort of pulling away a bit from Grosjean. Now they're into the final chicane. Right, left, bouncing over the curbs. Be careful of the wall on the exit. And they're all pretty line astern. There's Paul Di Resta having a look at one of the Pedersens who's got in front, and that was Gutierrez, I think, who was making a move on one of the horizons. Hamilton's under pressure from Bottas in the GRM. So the FJR's really not working at all. Here's Gutierrez, who's under pressure from Sam Bird.
From the lawnmower.
same engine in the back of the Horizon than it is on the back of my car. And there's a
Oh, is
nudge
it? Oh,
between Bird and Gutierrez. That is annoying. And Bird's going to drop to... Oh, dearie
yeah.
me, that was careless driving from the Pedersen.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Kobayashi.
Yeah. I was thinking because it was the Williams, it had a BMW engine, but it's...
Maldonado, who's going to tag the back of the Mitchell of Al Suari.
it's clumsy.
Clumsy indeed.
As was that. And, yeah.
Robin Frines has blown up. That's the first mechanical problem of the race.
Was Maldonado out there? It doesn't really matter.
I think he'll have got going again from that. But pulling off the circuit and out of the race with a blown Renault is Frines. Apparently there's some new engines coming in for next season.
Oh, yeah?
And there might be a change of the engine regulations because it's quite clear that Ferrari have a massive advantage.
Yeah.
I suspect they might limit it to either 2 customers or even just 1 customer.
Maybe.
Depending
Ferrari won't like that.
There we go. First, and the inevitable breakdown for FJR, and it belongs to Gutierrez with a water leak.
Yeah.
And Maldonado did rejoin because he's
Hey.
now challenging Bird or the other one, Suttil. It's probably Suttil. And Suttil lost a lot of time there, so clearly the inside line is the better line through the final chicane. I suspect he's on 1 stops because he's still got quite a lot of fuel left in his tank. Here's a 2-stopper into the pits and it's Grosjean. That's going to help Gajera.
Might we actually see another Gajera win? It's been a while.
Been a while, been since the first race.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
in that absolute smegfest of a race.
I think that is the only word that can be used to describe it, really.
Yeah, I can think of no other word for it. 5.7 seconds to stop for Grosjean as he exits the pits on this interesting pit exit. Now into this almost tunnel-like section with the concrete walls on the outside and the inside.
Careful you don't skip that corner, otherwise the FIA will give you a penalty and ruin the race.
Yep.
I went there. that'll get a few bites, I think.
I'm going to go there as well. I don't think that was a penalty.
No, I don't think it was. As you can tell.
No. Speaking of which, he's in 5th place. Not too far behind Alonso, 2 seconds off. He's in an X-Lite sandwich.
Yeah.
Nothing X-Lite's doing quite well at the moment.
Good race,
so...
yeah.
And Werner into the pits as well. That's a bit early for a 2-stop. Has he had some sort of mechanical issue? Because he still had a lot of fuel left.
Yeah, perhaps he did.
And there's a long stop as well, 8.2 seconds. I'm sceptical if that was a scheduled stop. But anyway, he's on a 2-stopper now.
Yeah.
So let's see what the Tornadoes can do about that. As Verne exits the pits, the light is green. Reference to Juan Pablo Montoya.
Was that? Didn't he take like 40 laps to get disqualified? Was that somebody else?
No, that was the
Fisichella
and Massa
Yeah.
a couple of years later.
He just waited like, oh no, wait, yeah, you're disqualified.
It's still Perez in the lead, so he's obviously having a much better race.
Yeah, he's not getting reeled in by his teammate.
His pit icon's showing red for some reason, so I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, 18 laps left of fuel when he's coming in.
Kimi's coming into the pits. Still quite a lot of fuel. I wonder if that's a glitch. That could be a glitch, because with Kimi it definitely showed like 28 laps of fuel.
Damn it, AWS.
We want to know
another pointless statistic there from them.
Well, we want to know about tyre performance at this stage. As slowish stop from Raikkonen, 8.2 seconds, as Button comes into the pits in the rejuvenated Exolite. And Rosberg in the pits for Willows, who've had a pretty quiet season. There's Grosjean. Is that Verne? That's Verne coming down the start-finish straight.
It's deceptive, this, though, isn't it? It was... Yeah, it's coming out.
But Grosjean has jumped Raikkonen, interestingly.
Yeah.
So the new tyres working well for the Tornado. Meanwhile, it's Perez still leading. Suspect he's due in the pits the next lap if the fuel glitch is anything to go by. Indeed he is. He's still stuck behind the horizon.
Well, this could be interesting if he's lost a lot of time behind the horizon.
And this could be interesting as well.
Yeah, could get all of them, mate.
No, he's fine. Into the pits comes Perez. So, providing Alonso doesn't do the same, then Alonso once again leads a race. Into the pit box, blinded by the concrete of the pit building. Slightly still on the left front. Alonso in the pits.
Ah, right, so Alonso's on a 2-stop as well then.
As is Vettel.
God damn it. I mean, yes, I knew that.
As is Hulkenberg. And there's a Pedersen coming through, so it's going to be pretty tight between Perez and Grosjean. I think Perez has just about got it, though. Let's see.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think that's the Pedersen in front. Yep. Kobayashi heeds the warning. And Perez maintains the lead, so he's on for his first win if things remain as they are.
Yeah.
Here's Hamilton into the pits for yet another miserable race for me.
Could be worse. Hamilton could break down as well.
Oh, Werner's broken down. It's
See-
going to be him that's broken down. That's just before the hairpin.
For a split second, I thought I'd just put the ultimate commentator's curse on you.
Not yet, I suspect. So what's that done? That's moved Vettel up into 4th position. Alonso 5th, Button 6th, Hulkenberg 7th, Kubica 8th. As we get confirmation on the board, that it is a transmission failure. So drive shaft gearbox, who knows?
Yeah, Vettel's jumped Alonso. When did that happen? Must be in the pits.
That would have been the pit stops, yes. Second pit stop, so that's not taken long at all.
Must be in a bit of a Paul Ricard sort of race.
Yeah, I think GP4 Canada doesn't tend to produce spectacular races. I don't remember last year's race being particularly good.
I can't remember last race, never mind last year's race. I'm very bad with that.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of action happening. Anyway, Kimi does a 6.9 and fields the end of the race,
God,
of
I'm
course.
27. I shouldn't be laughing about stuff like that. That's...
Childish humour's fun. And what's that done for the race? He's rejoined right behind Hulkenberg. That's not going to do Raikkonen's chances any good of jumping Grosjean. Needs to clear this Mitchell very quickly if he's to stand any chance of making it a Gajera 1-2 for the first time
Yeah.
this season, yeah.
No, I thought the first race was a 1-2.
No, it was both Mitchells that finished on the podium, I believe. Yeah, Perez was only 5th in Australia.
Ah.
Someone's had a spin somewhere, don't know where. Oh, it's Maldonado versus Hamilton. Ah, thanks very much, Pastor Maldonado. You've just shunted Hamilton off the road at turn 1, and, well, serves you right.
It's a very Maldonado sort of move, is that?
And now Raikkonen making the move on Hulkenberg as Jenson Button comes into the pits from 4th.
Hey, get that lawnmower out of my way.
The Renault lawnmower, that's not worked. Anyway, where's Button going to rejoin? Because Alonso has pitted, I believe. Who knows?
We wait with anticipation.
But now Kimi can set off after Grosjean, try and close the gap as much as possible before the championship leader comes into the pits for his second stop. I haven't seen where the one-stoppers have come from. But Grosjean in the pits this lap. So I think this will be Tornado reacting to the Gajera pit stop.
Who is on a one-stopper?
I've no idea, because
Yeah,
many of
yeah.
the front runners have 2-stopped.
Yeah, looks like 2's the way to go.
I think Hulkenberg's 1-stopping. No, it's 2-stopping, what am I on about? But into the pits comes Grosjean. This is a crucial pit stop.
Yeah.
Crucially for him, Perez has carried on. So if Grosjean can put in a good outlap like he did in the first round of stops, then it could be a Grosjean win.
It'd be... Yeah, I think Grosjean's looking like the favourite for this season, to be honest. I think if he gets a couple more wins...
Yeah,
it's
the
gonna be hard to
Tornado...
come back from. Early days yet, though, so...
Yeah, the Tornado's a fundamentally better race car. But here comes Raikkonen down the start-finish straight. It's going to be pretty tight. I think Kimi might have done it. First corner. Yeah, Kimi's jumped him.
Yeah.
Now then, can Kimi do something about the other Gajera, who has a 26.1 second lead? And the gap between Grosjean and Raikkonen was about 24.5 seconds. So Perez needs to make his pit stop pretty quickly, and he's coming in this lap. Now this is the important pit stop. Vettel's quite close behind.
He was, wasn't he? I was wondering if he even was Vettel because he was very close to Grosjean. I was wondering if it was Maldonado lapped down or something, but
Vettel's only 2 seconds behind, so there's some race pace in Vettel.
yeah.
Oh, good pit stop. 5.7 seconds. Trundling down the pit lane at 81 kilometres an hour, which, if it's supposed to be 80, then he's speeding in the pit lane.
Naughty boy.
I think everyone's been naughty. That's a comfortable lead for Perez.
Yeah.
No need to worry. Perez has got this one firmly in the bag.
Well, this would be his first win, won't it?
Yes, first FF1M win. And mostly thanks to the car, it has to be said, because he's not really shown great form in his previous races.
Thinking back to Silverstone and last year, and
Yep.
in fact, most races last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's found a better environment, clearly.
Better environment, better car. And some F1 shots in the background. We'll gloss over that in case FOM decide to do something about that. But now we've got a battle for second between Raikkonen and Grosjean. And this is important for the championship.
It is, yeah. Raikkonen really needs to keep him behind.
He does, and it's not looking good so far because, well, he's defending into turn 1. Obviously, no overtaking into turn 2 unless you're stupid. But the championship is basically Grosjean has an 11-point lead over Raikkonen, who sits third. In between the two is Vettel, who sits 42 points, so just 2 points behind Grosjean. And he's doing a good job of limiting that particular damage at the moment in 4th position.
Yeah. To be honest, I really want Raikkonen to keep Grosjean behind as well, actually, for my championship. So, go on, Kimi.
Go on, Kimi. Give us another reason to love you.
Well, should we be more unbiased?
Go on, Kimi. It's Perez who leads at the moment by 4.1 seconds, and I'd expect that gap to keep growing as these two are engaged in a battle for second position. Vettel not too far behind, 3.3 seconds. And look at the two Exolites as well. They've kept some good pace.
Yeah, no, not far behind at all.
9.7 and 11.6, so they have genuinely got a good car.
Yeah. I think that Ferrari helps.
Ferrari definitely helps,
all these top teams.
Especially on a circuit like this.
Yeah.
Hulkenberg 7th, Kubica 8th, so more useful points for Mitchell and Andrew F1. And Vettel is one of the quicker cars on the circuit. Took best part of 7/10 out of Grosjean that lap.
Yeah. Need them to keep scrapping, to be honest. Even Vettel can sneak up in and throw one down the inside, maybe.
Just keep chipping away at that gap.
Yeah.
It does seem very difficult to overtake at this circuit.
We've not got the stupid double DRS, just OP-ness that they have in the real F1. It's way too overpowered, as DRS in Canada.
But this particular circuit in FF1M is difficult to overtake. They're just not getting the traction out of the corners. So I wonder what's happening there. Could just be the circuit properties. Who knows? Gap has stabilised now between Raikkonen, Grosjean and Vettel.
Oh, lock up.
Lock up. Didn't run wide this time. Oh, nearly did a Vettel.
Yeah.
And look at the gap now closed. So a small error from Raikkonen, and it's now a 3-way battle.
Oh, no, it's not now.
And that's the replay.
All right, okay.
A replay of that particular moment.
And that's a replay, Murray.
You're right there. Caught me. So is Raikkonen's tyres beginning to feel it?
Yeah, Raikkonen did stop earlier, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit earlier, and that's why he got back ahead of Grosjean during the second round stops, feeling the need to defend going into the 8-9 chicane, which really needs a corner name. Did you see that video by Chain there?
I did, yeah, it was a really good point. Yeah,
I prefer corner names to numbers.
Yeah, because numbers as well, they change every time if you had a new corner in between turns 2 and 3.
Yeah.
All the corner names change.
Yeah, I'm all for corner names.
Yeah. He's let's name them now. He's heading down to Dank Bay turn.
I was going to go for the Olympic chicane. No, this is the Wall of Champions chicane.
Well, yeah.
I think the two hairpins do have names. I think one was there used to be the casino hairpin, the far end of the circuit.
Is there a casino there?
Yeah, there is a casino in between the straight and the hairpin, the final chicane and the hairpin. And then approaching Vettel corner. Could also be Frentzen corner because he had a massive accident in the 99 race there.
Did he?
Now Panis' turn. And to 6 and 7, we'll call that...
Vettel's
we'll call
2011 bottle job.
Yeah. I think you need a Villeneuve corner.
Well, he's crashed at most of them around this circuit, hasn't he?
Well, Gilles Villeneuve won. Well,
No, I'm thinking of Jacques.
Oh, Jacques, yeah. Into the Wall of Champions twice.
Yeah.
Once before it was called the Wall of Champions, and then one that cemented its place as the Wall of Champions.
Yeah, he never went well around here.
No, he had that second place in 96, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Only 2 other finishes. One was 6 laps down in 98, and then finished 9th in 2005, which was one of his better showings. Then there was that one in 2006 where he just inexplicably crashed whilst we were on board with him. It was quite a funny moment. There's a battle going on between...
Oh yeah, that was coming out of the Vettel bottle curve, wasn't it?
Vettel bottle curve, yeah. Meanwhile, this battle for second place is now stagnant, but they are approaching another battle between, I presume, Paul di Resta and what could be Bruno Senna. Let's see how quickly they close up to them. This could decide the battle for second because slipstreaming doesn't really work on this circuit for some reason.
Yeah, that is weird.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the gearing that's caused it. Who knows? We'll have to consult the AFIA on that one.
Yeah, I won't pretend to be a GP4 expert, to be honest.
See, he's closing quite a bit going into the hairpin, but the straight's not long enough. And then coming out of here, just bad traction.
Yeah.
There's no traction coming out of it. And Raikkonen's in the slipstream off this Pedersen. I presume it is Senna. Yeah, Raikkonen will get him. Will Grosjean get him?
Doesn't look like it.
No, this is going to help Kimi somewhat. And Vettel lost even more time under traction for that hairpin. As Senna lets him through. It is definitely him, I recognise. Oh, Senna's out.
Oh, he jumped out quick.
Yeah, suspension took care of that.
Some strange cloaking devices I think the Pedersens might be using for the drivers.
Could be.
Save the blushes when the car retires.
Now we've got Paul di Resta to deal with. Who had that 8th place, and, well, looking at Hamilton, oh, it's the last lap even. So, straight into the leader, and taking his first ever FF1M win, it's Sergio Perez for the Gajera. Gajera's first since Australia.
Yeah, well done, Checo.
Yeah, very well deserved that. And his battle for second, it does go to Kimi Raikkonen in the end. So he chips away at Grosjean's championship lead, but Grosjean extends it because he finished 1 place ahead of Vettel and nearly contact between the 3 championship rivals.
Yeah, a bit of post-race argy-bargy there.
Yep. And that's confirmation of the results. Another good strong showing from Exolite with 5th and 6th. Almost in formation, Button was closing up a bit on Alonso. And Hulkenberg 7th, Kubica in 8th. Not the best race, but...
As far as 1-2s go, like, you know, a lights to flag 1-2 for a specific team, as far as those sorts of races go, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a championship point of view, it's okay.
One that you'd skip on the season review, perhaps, but
yeah,
it was all right.
Meanwhile, Maldonado did win the battle between himself and Hamilton in the end, so at some point he got back ahead.
Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, yeah.
That was
Maldonado
interesting.
still without his first point.
A fastest lap, Button fastest lap, interestingly, so that must have been his late 2-stop strategy, giving him fresher tyres at the end.
Yeah.
So that's another good point for Exolite. Well, there's no points for this fastest lap, just bragging rights.
Yeah. Just swag.
Swag. And amongst the key retirement, well, Senna, Gutierrez and Freins, but Jean-Eric Vergne, crucial retirement. So that's first retirement of the season. No, he had one in Australia. And he had one in Spain.
Was Jean-Eric close in the championship battle?
He's in amongst it somewhere. He's on 30 points.
Well,
Indeed he is. But there you see it. Grosjean on 50 points with Vettel on 47 and Raikkonen on 41. With Perez's win and Raikkonen's second, this will make the Constructors' Championship a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Closing the gap a bit. As Alonso is now ahead of Verne in the championship, so the top 5 are all race winners. That's quite fitting. There's Verne in 6th, Hulkenberg still an impressive 7th for the Mitchell.
Hulkenberg's had a great season.
Fantastic season in the much improved Mitchell, who sit 5th in the Constructors' Championship. Tornado have a 7-point lead over Gajera, who close the gap. Exelite's now 3rd, with Shake and Bake 4th. With
Vettel 4th?
Vettel 4th, yeah, it's still Vettel, yeah.
Could you imagine if Vettel went on to win this season and Maldonado didn't score a point?
That'd be interesting, yeah.
I think we'd be negotiating Maldonado's pay.
Well, it does bring funding, but Vettel brings the results.
Yeah.
So that was round number 7 or 8.
I think it was 8.
It was 8, yeah. Next race will be the halfway point of the season in Austria, and we shall see you then.